Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today. This is your primetime destination. News, newsmakers, talking points. Our big talking point tonight, Rahul Gandhi's vote Chori H-bomb. Is it a bomb or a dud? That's the big question we'll raise. Also, we'll ask the question, is it time for the Election Commission now to once and for all come clean and order a time-bound investigation? If it has nothing to hide, why no investigation? Also, the big global story that's creating a stir in India too. Zohran Mamdani wins the New York mayoral poll, takes on Donald Trump. The Mamdani phenomenon on the news today. But first, tonight's top story. Rahul Gandhi has dropped what he calls a hydrogen bomb, alleging massive voter fraud with over 25 lakh fake votes, according to him, in the Haryana elections last year. This is part of his series of vote chori allegations he's made against the Election Commission, claiming that the commission is backing the BJP. This time, from duplicate entries to fake photos, including that of a Brazilian model, and bulk voters found at single addresses, the Congress leader accused the Election Commission of colluding with the BJP to ensure the Congress defeat in Haryana. The EC and the BJP have strongly rejected Rahul Gandhi's claim. The controversy, though, has raised fresh questions just coming a day ahead of the Bihar polls. Was this hydrogen bomb a dud or did it explode? Here's more in tonight's top story.
Rahul Gandhi drops what the Congress calls the hydrogen bomb. The leader of the opposition started his presentation with a photograph of a voter allegedly enrolled in Haryana.
हरियाणा की जनता से पूछना चाहता हूं कि ये कौन है? इसकी एज क्या है? ये कहां की है? ये आपको बता सकता हूं, कभी इसका नाम सीमा, कभी स्वीटी, कभी सरस्वती। 22 बार हरियाणा के युवा, अच्छी तरह सुनिए, 22 बार 10 बूथ में इसको वोट देने का मौका मिलता है.
The Congress leader alleged a massive voter fraud, claiming that 25 lakh votes, around 12.5% of the electorate for Haryana Assembly polls in 2024 were fake voters. Rahul Gandhi claimed there were 5,21,619 duplicate voters on Haryana's voter list for assembly elections. As example, he cited the same photo used 100 times in one assembly seat. In another instance, he claimed one photo was used for 223 voters in 2 polling booths. Rahul Gandhi claimed there were 1,24,177 voters with fake or blurred photographs in multiple booths. The leader of opposition alleged that thousands of voters were enrolled both in UP and Haryana. As examples, he listed names of people he claimed were BJP leaders enrolled in the 2 states. There were 19,26,351 bulk voters, the Congress leader charged. He listed 3 cases: 66 voters at a local BJP leader's house, 501 at another, and 108 at a third address.
BJP Vice Chairman Zilla Parishad Palwal, he's allowed to have 66 voters on the list by saying they're in his house. Was ground verification done of this, that there are 108 people living here and they don't exist? Was ground verification done of this BJP leader? 66 voters, he is saying they're living there. They don't live there. Was it done in these 500 cases? No. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on the list.
The leader of opposition claimed 3.5 lakh votes were deleted from the rolls. He alleged that the Election Commission has blocked access to Forms 6 and 7, which deal with additions and deletions. Rahul Gandhi accused the Election Commission of acting in collusion with the BJP and robbing his party of a victory in Haryana.
That the Congress party is sweeping the election, when every indicator is that the Congress party is going to win. All the polls, all the exit polls are saying it. And this gentleman is very sure and is smiling that the BJP has some vyavastha that is going to show itself. After all this, the end result was Congress lost the Haryana election by 22,000 votes.
The Chief Electoral Officer of Haryana reacted to the charges, issuing a fact sheet. The Election Commission says final electoral rolls were shared with parties on August 28, 2024. No appeals were filed by anyone. Electoral rolls were shared with candidates on September 16th. Voting took place on October 5th. The results were declared on October 8th. In all, 23 petitions were filed challenging the elections. The BJP has rubbished Rahul Gandhi's allegations.
दरअसल राहुल गांधी सिर्फ बीजेपी नहीं, हमारा देश का तंत्र है, जो क्रेडिबिलिटी ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशंस है, उसको टारगेट कर रहा है, हमारे सिस्टम को। ये एक बहुत सोची समझी षड्यंत्र है। मैंने आपको पहले भी कहा, राहुल गांधी का एक मोहरा बना करके उसको यूज कर रहे हैं कि भारत का जो उभरता हुआ ताकत को, हमारे इमेज को नुकसान पहुंचाने के लिए राहुल गांधी जैसे लोगों को टारगेट कर रहे हैं।
Rahul Gandhi's explosive claims have set the stage for another high-voltage political showdown. With the leader of opposition claiming that a conspiracy is being hatched in Bihar, the spotlight is once again on the Election Commission. Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let me first get quick political reactions. I'm joined by Nikhil Anand, BJP spokesperson, Mahima Singh, Congress spokesperson, on a political face-off triggered off by what Rahul Gandhi has said. Nikhil Anand, to you first. Your first reactions to what Rahul Gandhi has said. Do you agree that given the gravity of the charges, someone is the leader of the opposition is claiming that there has been massive vote chori? Should the Election Commission do much more than just put out a press statement? Should they not order an investigation and put that out in the public domain so that all doubts are settled?
Rajdeep, I think Election Commission of Haryana or Election Commission of India will surely come out with a detailed press conference to reply to all the questions raised by Rahul Gandhi. But my point is that SIR-like process, first time held in Bihar after long time. And now it is being initiated in all over the country. But he is quoting the reference of Haryana and saying that 25 lakh people, fake voters are there. And that is why SIR is much needed. You see that Rahul has started vote chori yatra in Bihar and that flopped miserably. There is no taker for his issues in Bihar. People don't bother. It doesn't affect the common masses. This is not a crisis. Even Tejasvi Yadav refused to take this agenda. And now Rahul is deliberately trying to make a point just to keep himself discussed in this election. Rahul is out of this whole election process in Bihar. Do you know the process, how the SIR all being done?
No, one minute, Nikhil. Nikhil Anand, let's focus. You're saying that Rahul Gandhi is using this press conference of his to gain attention ahead of the Bihar elections, where you believe that the Congress is out of the race. Let me take that at the moment to Mahima Singh. Mahima Singh, Rahul Gandhi claimed 3 months ago that he was going to drop a H-bomb. This H-bomb comes one day ahead of the Bihar elections. The question therefore will be raised, if Haryana took place last year in September, if the electoral rolls were made available on August 28, 2024, what was Rahul Gandhi or the Congress party doing for 14 months? What were your booth level agents doing? One day before Bihar, suddenly you come up with the H-bomb. There will be questions raised.
Jai Hind, with the BJP, or rather, let me say, Chori ki sarkar in power for the last 11 years, it has become abundantly clear the means that this government this party in partnership with the ECI is resorting to. Now you're asking why Haryana and why not Bihar? Well,
I'm asking, why did it take 14 months for Haryana? Yes, why you're doing it one day before Bihar, but what were you all doing for 14 months?
This systemic sabotage of the Indian democracy is so elaborate, so deep, that it takes time to contemplate data, to analyze data, and that's what we have been doing. And that's what you saw on the stage today. And especially with the ECI going so opaque, refusing to give data. You see, the Election Commission of India should be concerned today that how come 66 voters can be registered in a single house? How come a Brazilian model's photograph features on electoral rolls in Haryana across 10 booths? She has also voted at least, somebody has voted in her name at least 22 times in Haryana. The curtain has been raised, and which is why the BJP is today rattled. We saw the Parliamentary Affairs Minister come out and address, the people.
The point though, Nikhil Anand, is quite simply this. Now, Rahul Gandhi cites a specific case of this Brazilian model, whom he claims her photo, and he's shown that that was on 22 ID cards across 10 booths in one area. Now, EC must respond to that specific charge. There's no point talking about generalities. Why didn't you complain in August, September? मेरे घर में चोरी होती है, और I make the allegation कि मेरे घर में चोरी होती है, और the election commission is saying prove the chori. It is not for me to prove the chori. It is for election commission to investigate were there 22 ID cards with the same photo who actually voted.
Rajdeep, it may be possible that one voter can be at multiple places. But how can Rahul say that they all have voted? It is just a hypothesis he is presenting.
No, but why should the same person sir, I agree with you. I agree that there is no proof that they all voted, but the truth is their photograph was of a Brazilian model on the same ID card of 22 people.
That is why SIR is needed. Rajdeep, that is why
But election is over. First there should be a Haryana election, then have the SIR. Investigate the Haryana election.
Rajdeep, I'm just giving you a reference of one assembly constituency that is my constituency, Maner in Bihar. And I am the BLA 1. And I have appointed all the BLA 2 on all the booths. And you see that 30,000 omissions were done. 30,000 voters were deleted. Among them, 14,000 were all those who died from 2003 to this time. And around 12,000 were those who were double or triple voters. And we worked hard to ensure that all are at one place at least. And at 2 places or 3 places, they were deleted. And 1,000 or 2,000 voters were those who shifted to other places or migrated to this place. I'm saying ECI gave 1 month extra time so that those who were wrongly omitted or those who wants to be inducted in the roll list, they can try. And 9,000 people were inducted into the final list. So the process is very clean. And I am saying there are 77,000 booths all over the Bihar. And why not one BLA 2 complaint to the ECI?
Sir, this is not about... Sir, 1 minute. This is not about... You make a valid point about SIR, but this is not about Bihar, it's about Haryana. Was the Haryana election, as Rahul Gandhi claims, stolen? The point, Mahima Singh, is very simple. I come back to it. You have booth level agents. If there was scaled up irregularity, they should have caught it. This is your weakest point. You see, yes, there are specific charges that Rahul Gandhi makes that deserve to be investigated. But when you say 25 lakh votes are stolen and your BLAs don't file a single complaint ahead of the elections, then it seems that this is only an afterthought. Or your system is so weak that you couldn't catch 25 lakh votes being stolen? And therefore you need an SIR.
Before I come to answer your question, Rajdeep, before I come to answer your straight question, let me make this brief point which I was raising my hand for earlier. In Bihar, the BJP's whataboutery and its dumbfounded position is very clear. We want to ask them, we have been asking, how many illegal immigrants were found out? If SIR is so right, how many illegal immigrants were found out? And now coming to your question and relating it to what I've just said, You see, you are asking us what were our BLAs doing at that point in time. I think Honorable Leader of Opposition has made it abundantly clear today that we get the lists only at the last minute. So it is very hard, very difficult for us to really contemplate. And now, after the SIR, please allow me to complete my thought. After the SIR exercise in Bihar, Rajdeep, 7% voters have been deleted. I mean, that's a matter of that's a matter of fact here. We can all see that. So 12% fake voters in Haryana is not really difficult to achieve for a party which has staged the Chandigarh mayor election, after which the CGI of that time had to really remark that this is broad daylight murder of democracy, or for a party who stole the Panipat Sarpanch election, which has been vindicated after 2.5 years now by the Punjab Haryana High Court. Today we know why exactly the BJP bulldozed. Allow me to complete this. Today we know why the BJP bulldozed the Supreme Court's verdict on CECs. We also know why the ECI overnight changed rules when the Punjab Haryana High Court asked them to provide the proofs and evidences, CCTV footages to Mahmood Pracha. We know all of that today.
Okay, I've heard the politicians. They will make their arguments. We've heard them. But I want to broaden this discussion. This goes beyond just politicians. I appreciate both of you joining us. Rahul's expose, is it really the hydrogen bomb or the H bomb that he claimed, or is it a dud? Is vote Chori real, or is it hype? Is it backed by proof or a shot in the dark? Does the Election Commission need to come clean? Is India's election process under the scanner? I'm joined by Anjali Bharadwaj, co-convener National Campaign for People's Right to Information, by Mohammad Amin, former Joint Director at the Election Commission, and Rajat Sethi, a political analyst who is associated closely with some of the BJP's election campaigns. Anjali Bharadwaj, first to you. Do you believe that votes can be robbed, there can be voter theft or vote chori at such a scale? In a state with 2 crore voters, 25 lakh voters are allegedly fake, according to Rahul Gandhi, and it's not caught by anyone for 13 months?
Rajdeep, what we are hearing, the allegations that are being made are very, very serious allegations. They go to the root of our electoral system, and they cast very, very strong doubts and aspersions on the Election Commission of India. As a citizen of the country, I am extremely concerned. Now, let me state here that this is not something which has come out of the blue. As citizens, we have for many years been raising concerns about the conduct and performance of the Election Commission. The Congress, the LOP coming out and making these statements is a relatively new phenomenon. Citizens in the country, including in the Citizens Commission on Elections, have been raising these concerns for many years now. In fact, matters have been taken to court, to the Supreme Court, including the process of appointment of election commissioners. What is the problem? The clear problem is that the referee who's supposed to conduct elections does not today come clean. We are facing a crisis of trust and confidence in the Election Commission of India. What has
you didn't answer my question though, ma'am. You didn't answer my question. 14 months. Sorry, ma'am. You didn't answer my question. If you're claiming these are election irregularities, the scale of it, does it take 14 months in your view?
Yes, it could take 14 months, because I can tell you that as a citizen, till date, none of us has actually seen searchable, machine-readable voter lists of Haryana. What was shown to us today was seen for the first time. There were photographs. If you look at the manuals, the rules of the Election Commission, citizens are not given access to photographs of the electors. Today, when we saw what was being shown to us, we actually went and looked at the data that is on the Election Commission website, the voter list, and there was no way for anybody to verify. So today a political party has done this exercise and put it out there. But what do I expect from my Election Commission? And that's what I was coming to, Rajdeep. If the Election Commission, as it has tweeted, claims that all of this is unfounded. I really hope that it is. How are they going to convince me as a citizen? How are they going to convince you and your viewers? By doing three things. First, they should put out all the machine-readable, searchable voter lists in the public domain and say that, look, the leader of opposition is lying. What he's saying is unfounded, and that is the only way to show to us today that we can trust the commission and what we are hearing is wrong or is unfounded. The second thing is that the CCTV footage of all booths in elections in Haryana must be immediately made public. This is a demand we have been making repeatedly, because the commission says that how do you know that all these people came out and actually voted? Well, how will we verify that? By seeing the CCTV footage. But the election commission is simply refusing to give the CCTV footage. We saw in the Chandigarh mayor elections how the presiding officer, Anil Masi, was actually tampering with ballot papers and was tweaking the result in favor of the BJP. How did we all see that? How did we all get to know and believe it? Through the CCTV footage. Today, that very footage is being denied to people. People are being told you can't have it for different reasons like privacy. Well, fine. We are being told Bahu Betis, their privacy will be taken away. What about checking electoral fraud then? And forget all of this. There is repeatedly, we are seeing that there is unprecedented increase in voter turnout, which basically means something like ballot stuffing is happening. We are asking for Form 17C. That doesn't have anybody's photo or name or any other address. It simply has figures of how many people turned out to vote and how many votes were cast in the EVM. What is so secret about that? The Election Commission is refusing to come clean. The question today is that, yes, some allegations were made today. Maybe they should have been made earlier by the Congress party. But as a citizen, I have the right to question my constitutional body, which is the Election Commission of India, which has been mandated.
I take your point. I take your point. And Rajat Sethi, let's be clear. There are important points that Anjali Bharadwaj just raised. In a digital era, to not provide machine-readable voter list to voters seems a bit strange. I know that the government cites a 2018 Supreme Court order, but the fact is that we are in a digital age. It will only improve transparency. Not retaining CCTV footage after 45 days is also problematic. It almost seems as if the Election Commission has something to hide. And therefore, when Rahul Gandhi made specific allegation like that of the Brazilian model's photograph on 22 identity cards, there will be questions raised. They should be raised, surely.
So, Rajdeep ji, again, I am no one to fend for Election Commission. It is their job. They're getting taxpayer paid salaries to do this job. They should come out and do it. My observation only, just to the extent of this being only construed as mere observations, that did the Election Commission change the rules of keeping these these voter lists unscannable, deliberately done during the last 10 years or 11 years? Was this a new sort of rule that the Election Commission came about where it was trying to deliberately hide data or deliberately delete the CCTV footage? Or was it a practice that Election Commission always had? If you want changes in the processes of the Election Commission, you can make suggestions to the Election Commission as the
CCTV
citizen.
footage, on CCTV footage, it was changed after a Punjab and Haryana High Court order. Suddenly, the Election Commission decided we will remove all CCTV footage after 45 days. That was not the case 10 years ago. Even on machine-readable voter lists, we are in a digital age. You know it better than anyone else. If I have nothing to hide, why not make it machine-readable so that you don't have to wait 14 months to see whether a photograph is on 22 different voter identity cards?
Absolutely. I think all the best practices which can exist should be brought out, and the Election Commission, while it is doing an SIR, it should come out and open up all the electoral rolls for all kinds of scrutiny and scanning. And that SIR has to be done. I think Congress and Rahul Gandhi has made the best possible case anybody could have by presenting these facts as if it is his version can be treated as facts. Now, even last time he made accusations around Karnataka. He talked about a few women carried, in certain cases, a lot of congressmen carried the T-shirt. They were wearing T-shirt of Anjali Tyagi. And suddenly you see Anjali Tyagi coming out and saying, no, I exist. So these are allegations. Allow the dust to settle and the facts to emerge to understand where genuinely the gap is. For for one, I believe there is duplication of voters. There is 100% illegal migrants who've acquired Aadhaar cards and have entered into our voter list. They have to be weeded out. There have been duplication. People are actually the citizens' responsibility to not be registered on two counts. It's a criminal offense to do it. But people, including Mr. Pawan Kheda, was found to be registered at two different polling booths in two different, complete different states. So people have been doing this mistake, and this is why the voter list has, really populated, and there are a lot of duplication slash fake voters that need to be eradicated. And I believe Election Commission has taken a bold step for SIR, and Congress Party and all the supporters of Congress Party should come out in active support of the SIR as a process. That's the only possible legal way of cleaning up.
The SIR is for the future, for a cleaning up, but that is effectively also an admission that that there was a problem with the electoral rolls in the first instance. Mohammad Amin, you're a former joint director, Election Commission. I'll come back to you, Rajat. I want to get that clear. Is there an admission, therefore, that there is something wrong with the electoral rolls? That's why you need an SIR, and that's why you again need a transparent SIR. An SIR also cannot be conducted in a cloak and dagger manner without taking stakeholders into confidence. Is there a problem, as Rajat Sethi is also admitting, with duplicate voters, as Rahul Gandhi is now claiming?
Rajdeep, first I want to answer the madam. Madam has raised the question about the Chandigarh mayor example for the rigging at that time of the counting. That is not related with the Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India can control only the assembly elections, parliament, MLCs, and Rajya Sabha and president election. There is no for mayor or any block level election as conducted by the Election Commission of India. Second thing, madam was also mentioning about the list given, not given to the party leaders. Madam, whenever we have the elections in country for parliament or the assembly of the states, every party who is recognized by the Election Commission of India, registered with the Election Commission of India, officially we are giving the readable, madam, readable voter list, full voter list to the all party head of the
No, leaders. You don't give, sir, you don't give digital machine readable list. Let's be clear.
No. We are.
I have to scrutinize the list in a manner, it's not digitally available easily.
No, they can take from our district election officers whenever they need it. If they give the application, they get from the Election Commission office, that is called the district election officer, district collector office. They can get it always. They never hide anything from anywhere. So at the time of the revision of regular revision or SIR, we are authorizing, like when we have the poll, the polling agents are there, all stakeholders. And the counting time, we have all stakeholders from all party. They are recognized by the Election Commission presiding officers.
So you're saying to me, Mr. Amin, if 25 lakh voters were fake voters, whether they were duplicate voters, it should have been caught out by the BLAs at the initial stage. Am I correct? That you can't, there were no complaints, and therefore you believe it is possible to catch fake voters right at the initial stage?
Rajdeep, I want to tell you, whenever Election Commission is a lot of big process and lot of things are doing there. We were also working there. Lot of pressure is there. So whenever they have any party, telling you, any party have any complaint or any problem, they can write to the Election Commission. Election Commission is bound to give the reply to all stakeholders, which are registered with the Election Commission of India.
You're therefore, in a way, saying the Election Commission process is a process that does involve accountability. Rajat Sethi, I stopped you when you wanted to make a final point. Go ahead, make it now.
No, all I'm saying is this, multiplying anecdotes and converting them into large statistical numbers, that is where I believe there is a logical flaw, and several loops have been jumped by Rahul Gandhi to arrive at the number of 25 lakhs. And how are you saying that Brazilian sweetie has voted for BJP? Did you see that voting? Why? How did he reach to that conclusion? Maybe as well be the case that Sweetie has voted for Congress Party. How are you establishing that? So in order to reach to a conclusion that Sweetie or whomsoever, in one assertion, Rahul Gandhi says that one woman has 223 entries. Are you assuming in one day, can you go out into so many booths and vote 223 times and still be within the time limits?
No, to be
the
fair
answer is
to
clearly
Rahul
no.
Gandhi there, Rajat, he did not say she voted 223 times. We should be very clear.
Even 22.
He did not
So
say.
there is another woman, he said 22. I challenge you, Rajdeep. Let us do a test on Bihar election. Let us pick a voter to just go and touch 22 different booths in a single day. Let's
No,
see
he did not
how
say that
practical
also.
it
He
is.
said
No, he
the
did say that.
Brazilian woman's photograph was there on 22
That is
cards.
separate.
Those
So
22
that is
people
separate. There's another
voted
woman.
on that same card in 10 booths. We must be clear on the facts.
No, but
having said that,
no, again, you are saying that somebody can, there is no face matching done. There is absolutely no identity being matched. So the whole election process can be
that's
thrown
a
into
good
the
point.
dustbin in that case.
That's a
Now,
good
how
point,
is that
Rajat
on earth
Sethi.
possible?
That's a good point, which Anjali Bharadwaj, you see, Rahul Gandhi seems to be making a leap of faith or seems to be making the projection that because there were 22 names which had the same photograph, they all 22 voted. As Rajat Sethi points out, as Mr. Amin points out, there's a process. They will see your photograph and match the photograph to the face, and the person may not vote. So how do you know that all of this actually took place on the scale? That's the question. Rahul Gandhi is pointing out some anomalies, but that does not mean that the election was stolen. That's a huge claim to make.
Rajdeep, let me say this again. As a citizen of this country, when these allegations are being made, I can see that they are very serious allegations. This is not just about the integrity of the electoral process. This is about the legitimacy of the governments that they have resulted in, these elections. So this is a very serious allegation that has been made. It is up to the Election Commission of India, and I'm going to repeat this. It's up to the Election Commission of India the onus is on them to prove that what the LOP said today was incorrect. How will they prove it? Let them show the CCTV camera footage to the citizens of the country. They will judge whether the same person went in all of those places or not. When we are asking for that data, why is the Election Commission not coming clean? And let me here bring in the fact that in the Haryana election, today the whole H files or whatever was about Haryana elections. After Haryana elections, thousands of people asked for CCTV footage, presiding officer's diary, Form 17C. They were denied all of this. They went to the Punjab and Haryana High Court. The High Court said, of course, this must be given under Rule 93(2) of the Conduct of Election Rules. What did the ECI do? The ECI quickly ran to the central government and amended the Conduct of Election Rules 93(2) to say, no, this information cannot be given. So
point taken, ma'am. Point taken. I just want Mr. Amin to get a final word.
Let me finish, Rajdeep. This is important. Yes. When an allegation like this is made, citizens want to see a certain kind of action. We would have liked the Election Commission to not say give us affidavits, not to give out tweets saying it's unfounded. They should have called a meeting of all political parties. I would even go so far as to say televise it. We are in AI age today. Show to people that there is nothing to hide. Show to people that all the records are here, check them.
Your point is well taken. Amin Saab, final word to you, 30 seconds. Why not at least keep the CCTV footage? I come back to it. You see, there will be those who will put question marks, throw mud at the EC if the EC is not seen to be transparent.
Rajdeep, first I want to respond to Madam that she was telling that Form 17C is not given. This is the mandatory by the presiding officer. Every polling station in the evening, when we have the wind up, all the stakeholders, candidates, their representative, means they are polling agents. They sign it in presence of the presiding officer, and Form 17 every day given after the
What about CCTV footage?
And I'm not aware about that, but I'm telling you this is the Form 17C.
Okay.
So everything is clear.
Okay,
Same day.
Yes, Anjali, 30 seconds, quickly.
Look, Mr. Amin is saying that Form 17C is given to polling agents. I'm sorry. Elections in our democracy are not held for polling agents or for political parties. They are held for the people of the country. Why are the people of the country, when they are repeatedly asking for Form 17C, not being given Form 17C? What is there to hide in Form 17C? Nobody is perceived going to be harmed.
I want to leave it there. I want to leave it there. Surely the polling agents are given. It's the job of the polling agents also to go through it. Let's be very clear. There are gaps in the system. Those gaps need to be filled. We'll debate on another day whether the SIR is the right way to go about it. But for now, Rahul Gandhi has added to the debate. Like him, don't like him, agree with him, disagree with him. The fact is, we need to have a clear, time-bound investigation into the specific charges that are being made. I appreciate my guests joining me on the show tonight. So what does Zohran Mamdani's win mean for America, for New York? Democrats, have they got a formula now to take on Donald Trump? Will the New York City result lead to further polarization? Just some of the contentious issues I want to raise today on a day which, as I said, a slice of history has been created in America. I'm joined by Atish Tasir, author, columnist, someone who has lived in New York for years, Irfan Nuruddin, professor, Georgetown University, Mumbai boy who now lives in Washington. But first you, Atish, what did this day mean for New York? I see the smile on your face. Is this, in a sense, a rejection of Donald Trump or a triumph of what Zohran Mamdani stood for?
I mean, Rajdeep, just on a purely emotional level, and believe me, I have many policy differences aside, to see like Dhoom Machale Dhoom playing like in New York City, to hear Panditji's words like ringing out from like the next mayor of the city, deeply emotional. I mean, you know, all political differences aside, kind of just it really sort of gave you a catch at the heart to see someone like you, like the same color, shape, size as you, to see his mother who looks like my mother, like all of these things, like for me right now, at least, like they kind of like, I was surprised by how powerful a feeling it was.
Where did that park, is this sort of after a year in which there has been an anti-immigrant rhetoric, then to find someone of South Asian origin, of Ugandan, Indian parentage, becoming the mayor, was it that because of the last 12 months, what it's meant to several Americans, a sense that maybe there is an America which still believes in the idea of multiculturalism?
Well, exactly that. And also, you know, he was under so much pressure to kind of bend, and he did retain an integrity. It might not be your position, but his willingness to kind of stand up for things, stand up for what he believed in, and to let the chips fall as they would, that was, politically, it was very powerful.
You know, you're saying it was a politically powerful message. Irfan Nuruddin, there has been a rising tide of Islamophobia in America and indeed several parts of the world. Is New York an exception because of the nature of New York? And New York is not America. Zohran Mamdani can't win, for example, in the Midwest. Therefore, are we, in a way, hyping it up a bit more than it actually, than what it means? Is New York always an outlier?
And first, I mean, in honor of his mother, I think we should say Salam New York on this morning, right? Just like she once wrote that beautiful movie about my and your city, Salam Bombay. Look, I mean, New York is unusual. It's atypical. It's brilliant. It's complicated. It's messy. But at the end of the day, what you have over here is a young politician who seems to have captured a particular zeitgeist, giving voice to young people. And of course, as Atish so powerfully said, to people who look, sound, remind us of sort of who we are and where we came from. And I think that appeals broader than just New York. The particular rhetoric, right, the democratic socialism, the overt support for the Palestinian people and for Palestinian rights, that probably doesn't transfer very well outside of Manhattan and outside of the 5 boroughs. But on the flip side, the notion that a politician who's aggressively progressive, who talks about economic issues, who takes back from the Republicans this mantle of economic populism, can win an election in a very large, complicated city, I think that does transfer. So while we'll be talking about Mr. Mamdani right now, I mean, in Cincinnati, Ohio, Aftab Pureval won the mayoral election, defeating, in fact, J.D. Vance's brother-in-law, right? And this is the man whose name is Aftab Karma Pureval, and he wins an election in Cincinnati, Ohio, to be the mayor of that town. So Cincinnati is far more like what we might think of as being a typical American city. And even there, an immigrant of South Asian heritage is winning a mayoral election over someone who's literally this brother-in-law of the vice president of the United States and stands for something very different. The other part of it is, while we'll talk about the mayoral election, and Mr. Mamdani deserves all the attention he's getting this morning, in New Jersey, a Democratic woman wins the governor's race. In Virginia, a Democratic woman wins the Democratic race. In Virginia, a black man wins the Attorney General's race, a very contested race that he, for a while, looked like he may have damaged himself on. So I think and of course in California, the voters overwhelmingly support a motion to make it much easier to redistrict. So across the country, this was as good a day that the Democrats could have dreamed of. I do think it sort of will reinsert a certain optimism and a certain aggressiveness as they think about the next year. But I think, as your question suggests, simply thinking that Mamdani's formula can be translated elsewhere, that would be a mistake.
You know, Atish, in a way, therefore, here comes someone who's challenging the Trump establishment, the new Trump establishment. It's the story of the underdog. For immigrants who've gone to America, made their lives, does he therefore symbolize hope? When he speaks about economic equality, he's dubbed, of course, a communist by some, democratic socialist by others. But does he symbolize above all else hope? Much like Barack Obama did all those years ago. Does it mark another shift in that sense in the mood in America?
I mean, Rajdeep, there's also another wrinkle, you know, right? I live in a very Jewish neighborhood and it's very divided. So the older Jewish people are very, very skeptical and the younger Jewish people are very much in support. But one of the things I hear a lot in New York, they say about Indians, oh, you're the new Jews, meaning that you are like a kind of global aristocracy. And this is very much a child of global aristocracy coming into politics at a moment of cultural warfare. At a moment when, like, you know, it used to be that brown, yellow, black people were kind of encircled by the white man's gaze and the white man's power. And now traffic is moving in the other direction. So, you know, in a sense, it's not quite as underdog as all of that. Like we're setting up a much more contentious political battle, which will be used against us.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting the way you're putting it at the moment, but clearly what we've seen today in America has brought a smile to many faces, particularly, I think, for those immigrants who've made their lives in America the land of hope and of dreams being fulfilled. And Zohran Mamdani is a great story in that sense. And to do it at such a young age makes it perhaps even more energizing, if anything else. Atish Tasir, Professor Nuruddin, for joining me here today on the News Today. Thanks very much. Not to forget that slice of Jawaharlal Nehru, as you put it, that in a sense was a moment where India seemed to arrive once again in a strange way on the world stage. Just when you thought there was no space for Jawaharlal, he comes back like a ghost who you can never get away from. Thanks to both of you for joining me there from New York and Washington. Our image of the day is back home. The Wonder Women, the cricket world champions, the women in blue, met the Prime Minister at his official residence in the national capital today, and they posed for the trophy with the Prime Minister, who hailed their journey and felicitated Harmanpreet Kaur and company. The women's team gifted a Namo jersey to him. Good to see our women playing such a starring role this week. They are our stars. Thanks for watching. You stay well, stay safe. Good night, Shubhratri. Jai Hind. Namaskar.